Hi, welcome to what amounts to Gauss 2.0. This is basically anything and everything that's already in Redmine, just put in a comprehensive design demo. So, two things that I want to make clear to you guys before we start. You'll see the links somewhere here on the screen to the actual quick dummies, but there's one thing I'd like you to know straight away is that if you're not watching this on an iPhone 5, like me, I'm watching an iPhone 4S, you'll see that it scrolls, so it's optimized for the new iPhone 5 display. And another thing, if you do this gesture here, like a pinch, you'll see that you have some additional options. You'll see there's like show hotspots, jumps to start, load high res. This will be a demo in low res, and the default is low res. If you want to look at the high res versions of the designs and the screens, just press the 1x. It will load in the background. Mind you, it will be terribly slow. So for the point and purpose of this demo, we will stick to the low res. Let's see, there we go. And you can make this menu go away like that. So let's start it. Okay, so here we see forced Facebook login. It tells you about all the wonderful advantages of actually logging in with Facebook. You can see tiny miniaturized versions of the people that we can find around you. It's not the point and purpose that you're going to be able to identify them. It's just showing you the candy in the candy store, and pressing on with your Facebook account is your key to get into the door to the candy store. So, and also taking advantage of iOS 6's authentication. We don't need to open and close the app and shit like that if the user's already added their credentials. So here we see, just continue as Vito Anderson. Okay, do that. Okay, so what you'll see here is basically the same old good Gauss that we always had. And but you'll see down here there's absolutely no magnets. There's like people nearby, and there's my journal. Maybe that should be changed to something like my history or something, but that's basically what it is. It's a history. So on people nearby we have, let's see, direct connections, second level connections, and other new potential connections or out of my network. Those are basically the friends of friends and other people that we already have. So first up, you'll also see you see the face, you see a map where their whereabouts, you'll see where they are, you'll see when they were sort of targeted or when they were fixed, and you see the name, and you'll see a short list of the things that we have in common. You'll see like a card of a status message, where they work, where they studied, where they lived, and a romantic situation, if at all applicable, or if we can find it. So this is obviously a very meaty Facebook profile. If we can't find a meaty Facebook profile, we go for LinkedIn profile. If we can't find a LinkedIn, we do it to Twitter, and so on and so forth. The whole point is just to keep it in a human readable form and keep it juicy and interesting. So I can scroll this obviously in the full version. Right now I can't, this is just a dummy. I could go to my journal, which I will show you later, but for now what I also can do here is, that's like, okay, this guy looks interesting, he works for Rackspace, okay, Robert Scoble, heard of him I think. I can Gauss him, badoom, Gaussed. Well, what that just did is that it will keep track of Robert Scoble, and it will tell me anytime he's around. You know, like highlight, you might have heard of it. And I could just as easily just degauss him. So you might be going, where's the magnets and where's the other stuff? Well, I'll be showing you that now. It's up here in the settings. You saw that here, up in the corner. Here, right? It's up in the corner. First of all, we have a status message. We have manage magnets. We have connect services, people like Gauss, people who Gauss me, manage notifications, invite contacts, give feedback, and about, and so on and so forth. We still have to scroll because this is an iPhone 4 and not an iPhone 5. So first up, a status message is more or less like a Twitter inside of Gauss. It's to state intent and give more context. So I could just open that, tap something in, and update it. It will say it's updated, and that's what's basically going to turn up here. The first line here in other people visiting or watching, well, my profile, my identity popping up in other people's Gauss. So right now, Scoble says, searching for world-changing technologies for X-Base was largest web hosting company. Well, interesting. So we also have the magnets. This just been pulled back for expert users. We're still going to use the algorithms and look for very compatible people, or not just compatible, people with a lot of things in common with me. So what I can do with managed magnets, there it is. It looks exactly like it was. You know, I can add them like I used to be able to add them, right? I'll just add them. Here's the feedback. Okay, or more interestingly, I can go in and add it as text, or search it out with text. So this should be quite easy, and you can just of course delete it or manage them as I used to be able to, but much more in the background for expert users. I can also manage my connected services, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Foursquare. And I can also read about why that's such a good thing, to add more. And this is very interesting. Like I showed you here, we went in and we Gaussed, let's say, Robert Scoble, right? And I actually have a history, or like a track record of all the people I've Gaussed. So I can see and track, look at all the people I'm tracking. I can go in and degauss them. I don't want to Gauss Conway anymore. Or, well, oh, I'm sorry, I want to be keeping track of him anyway. Made my mistake. So also I can go in and message them straight away, like a hot list of just messaging. That's Ron Conway. I can message him. Even more powerfully, what's probably more powerful is that I could just click Ron Conway, and I can see his whereabouts and look up his stats. But that's sort of something I'll come back to just a second. And also what I can do is, as you see now, it's going a bit back and forth. There's a limitation of the field test app platform. It's not that complex, so you can't make that complex, interesting paths and connections. But anyway, so I was showing you people I Gaussed, and also I can have the same view of people who've Gaussed me. And I can say, okay, no, I don't want to have a track of Mark Zuckerberg, or conversely, I can also of course go in and directly message him. It's the same kind of view. And let's see here, people are Gaussed. Showed you that, and people Gaussed me. I have a track record, and I can easily access all of those people. And of course, there's manage notifications. Here suggested is like I can also turn on direct connection notifications, like I can get notified when my friends are around or not, or even second level, and I can put it on snooze. It's like a temporarily turning off the Gauss notifications, and also that temporarily I cannot be found for other people. So, and of course there's invite contacts, and there's give feedback and about. It's just like the same that we always had, just with a little bit better text, and of course depending on where the invite contacts are going, or the invites are going to go. If we have LinkedIn, it's also probably going to go to LinkedIn, but that's just a detail. So going back, I showed you we have the meaty sort of a short version of what Robert Scoble here. We see Robert Scoble, what this person is about. So I can see what we share. So it's like a drill down approach. I'll go down to Robert Scoble. Okay, we have him here. I can easily Gauss him also from this view, or degauss him if I want. And I can just see here, I can just keep on flipping through horizontally through all the people nearby. Right, there we see this guy, this guy. So let's see. Okay, Robert Scoble is interesting to me. So okay, so Robert Scoble is interesting to me. So what I want to do is I'll just go vertical. So horizontally, I can flip through all the people around me, and when I see someone interesting, I can go vertical. And what I see here is, for instance, here we have all the connections we have in common. I see all the people we've both Gaussed. I see all the interests we have in common. I see the magnets that we have in common. I see all the nearby history that we have. It's like how many times and where were we and which times, and where on a map were we together or actually nearby each other. I see a short version of all of this, like also locations in common. Where do we frequent often, both of us? I can see their latest post. I can see their latest images. So let's go up and have a look at the drill down. I can go and see connections in common. Of course, I can go in and have a view of all of them. I can Gauss them. I can message them, all the people that we have in common. I can also go in and do the same with the people that we both Gaussed. It's like a detailed view, like just the same. And the interests, I could obviously go in and have a look at the details, the whole list. And let's see, okay, we did only have two up, but here we see we have nearby history. I can click on one item. I can see, okay, it was LAX. I can see the time and go back. I can see all of it, like a chronology of where were we at which times. I can go in and have a look in detail. So also, like, I can have a look at, okay, which location do we frequent, both of us, often. So it's Ritual Coffee in San Francisco. I can have like this, and in this case I think it's Yelp, but of course we can point it to anywhere we'd like, or anywhere which is in our interest. And you can have obviously the whole list view of that to see, okay, which locations do we both kind of frequent. And if you're out and about, you want to be able to see what the other person has been actually tweeting or posting about lately. Either it's Twitter, it's the latest Facebook status message, and of course also their latest images, be it Instagram or be it Facebook, probably Facebook, whatever we can get at. And now, here's an interesting thing. As I told you already, you can Gauss and degauss them from this point of view as well. And obviously you can go in and message them conveniently, just as iMessage. Either send them an image or send them a message. It's date stamped and location stamped, and you can keep track of it. Here says today, and then you have like yesterday and then earlier. Just human readable, easy form. So here we go back. And you'll see something there called intro. We're not going to talk about this now because this is not something that was in Redmine, and it will be, and I'll talk to you about this earlier, but let's stay focused on the basics first, and I'll show you another demo later of the intro feature. But for now, look at this one. Hey, let's see if we can do this. Yeah, there we go. So this is actually the other profiles that we can find on Robert Scoble. What it will do is that if we have the apps installed, it will open the apps. If it doesn't have the app, it will just show you right here, like now, show you the web interface. So we have here Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. But the important thing here is it will also open the app if you have the app. Foursquare. And here we have either free call, if we can use something that will call, and of course message, which would be like a just like the message up there, or in some situations maybe it will be actually an SMS. And optionally Sing or Ushi or whatever network that we'd like to have, Instagram, Path, whatever's relevant, and you just click cancel and then you go back. So basically the whole clue here is that you have like this drill down structure where you start with this. You have a overview of your direct connections, second level connections, and other potential new connections. And as you see, there's nothing about Gauss in here, and there's nothing about Magnus, nothing. Right, now I'll show you show you how that looks in a different video, just a second. And what you can do here as well, now it's just showing you anybody who's around. I can also pull down and it will actually say, okay, now we're showing everybody nearby, and I can also sort by right here. And if I pull down further, it will show you the release to update, and it will show you a magnet up here, just a nifty little animated thing that will sort of help pull down the update, and troops, it's updated. And my journal is basically also the same. It's just all my history, or history is just sort of a journal, if you'd like, of all the encounters that you had, people who were Gaussed, people who Gaussed you, people who were nearby, people who sent you messages. It's like a whole shebang of everything. And of course you can also pull down here to have everything, Gauss, messages, and also in the future intros or whatever, all the kinds of items that you can have happen. And it's in a comprehensive history that you can also sort and filter. And obviously if you go in here, click an item, and you're directly in context of that message. So, or here I Gaussed Robert Scoble right now, so I can see that. Oops, sorry. It's a bit wonky, but it's free. So here we go. So this would be around here, I guess. It's basically like the journal is just one comprehensive history of where I've been, who I've seen, where did I see someone, where was the first time I saw you, and so on and so forth. So basically that's it. Main takeaway here, you just flip through people horizontally, drill down, and when you see what someone you like, you just go vertical and you can see all the details. And I think that concludes probably the demo of what's actually in Redmine to date. So thank you, and stay tuned for the next one. Okay, so as I showed you already with Scoble, people who already are using Gauss, they are obviously getting Gauss messages when I Gauss them as well. But we can also Gauss other people, right, already, or we can keep tabs on people who are not using Gauss, but we find them anyway. Like, let's say this is a person, and he's not using Gauss. Well, let's do this. Let's try to Gauss him. Oh, it says invite this person to Gauss because he's not using the app. So anyway, if I say cancel or invite, let's just do invite, they're Gaussed. We keep a track of them. But if you do invite them, they are actually automatically sent an invite per either Facebook or LinkedIn, depending on which channel that we found them on. So there we go. Okay, so hi. Okay, so there is another powerful feature that I want to show you guys before we go on to show you what happens when we have some magnetism or Gauss around. So basically now I'm in the mode where I'm looking at a person, browsing anywhere, doesn't matter, going vertical. Let's say, okay, this person looks familiar, I know this guy, okay. He's Michael Harrington, unpaid blogger, okay. I can go in depth and get more information on Michael Harrington, like also to try to get his fix and whereabouts, where is he at the moment. I can read him, and I can read all the people that we have in common, just browsing them horizontally, going in depth vertically. Also, quite interestingly, or you can get there, if we can find it, their location. So of course I can message them, I can Gauss them appropriately. I can go back and see, yeah, that's the people I have in common with Scoble. Alright. Let's now have a look at what happens when we have some Gauss around. Okay, so this is what happens, like what always happens up until now with Gauss, when we have some magnetism around, or some Gauss around. So what it says right now, what it says is Gauss, Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris is right here, and 2 more interesting people are nearby. So obviously I want to check this out. I'll just slide this open. Gauss opens, and I can see now down here there's a new tab. It's Gauss. That's with only active new stuff around, and I can also see here, sorry that it's still blurry, but you can see it perfectly crisp and clear if you open the links and view the click dummies yourself. So here it will tell me that I had 3 magnetism or 3 Gauss found nearby, and 5 messages since the last time I opened the app. So what do we have here then? It says up here, right here, we have Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris, 2 people that I previously Gaussed, or one of them actually I Gaussed Bruce Lee, and Chuck Norris Gaussed me. I can see where and when that was, and obviously as before we also see here, but now sort of that's nearby, we also have Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone is actually here because he's got an awful lot in common with me. So this is where the algorithm kicks in, and it says we have 29 people, 14 interest, 15 nearbys. That is to say we were already nearby each other 15 times in the past, and we check into 12 of the same locations. Of course I can also obviously tap into him and browse horizontally. Sorry, that's a wonky demo, I warn you. It's limitations of the software, but hey, it's free. So basically what I can do, I can go back and see the overview obviously, and I can tap into, let's say, Sylvester Stallone, and I'll just browse the other people around just like you saw on the other ones, and when I see something interesting I can go vertical. And this is the person I Gaussed in the past, so that's probably someone who's interested to me. I can of course message them, I can degauss them if I'd like to, or as in this case, this person that I have a lot in common with, which I of course can go vertical and browse all the stuff that we have in common. I can then select to Gauss him because it looks like someone interesting, or I could just of course directly message him. So that's the difference now, that you have only a 3rd tab open when it's actually relevant, and after, when there's nothing there, as I showed you earlier, of course you can also go back and forth, and you can go to people nearby, you can go also to my history, my journal. But when you go also back here, and if there were magnetisms that previously were known as magnetism faded, or that is to say not any more relevant, you would see them as this kind of Instagram tab or Instagram notification arrow there, which would show you there are new items and what kind of items and which numbers on your history screen since the last time you opened it. Okay, so that was the Gauss nearby, or Gauss found, or magnetism found.